dive and talk a little bit more about why I'm Team Namor, even though, even if Letitia Wright did get vaccinated. I think a lot of you from my last video saw how I was very Team Namor and how it seemed okay, he's obviously Team Namor to go see it without thinking about Letitia Wright because she didn't get vaccinated. But it was a terrible thing what us white people did to African Americans in the history with injecting them with viruses and very abusive. Actually, you got to look it up. And actually, Falcon and the Winter Soldier series does base deeply heavily on that idea, which is why a lot of African Americans don't believe in vaccines or chose not to get vaccinated from this COVID virus. Hence, why we're still in a little bit of a pandemic era. Um, you know, I myself am very COVID vaccine related. But I believe that even though Letitia Wright would have gotten vaccinated, I still would have been Talokan team on Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Or originally it was supposed to be called Black Panther The Tale of Two Kings, which it changed that because of, well, the loss of Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick Boseman was a huge, huge asset in this movie and in the Black Panther trilogy, and it was very awesome what he brought to the table as far as the video games and movies. I mean, he brought such a humbling era to a king on the Black Panther character and the mythology of the character and who the identity of the character was. He was a very humbling man who became a very humbling African king in the culture of the Black Panther uh, series. And, I look at, my issues, because of some of the previous. In my previous video, I did talk about how I think, it is toxic that they have people who chose not to get vaccinated, and one of them, not Letitia Wright, but Evelyn Gwyn, um, she's the woman who plays the Wasp, or the Wasp in Ant-Man and the Wasp, and in the new movie Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, she plays Hope Van Dyne, and my gosh, that woman really does and is very toxic on the COVID vaccine and the COVID vaccine mandates, and was very much against the mandates. So I'm getting a little ahead of myself. So, but when I was growing up, going through a huge bunch of trauma, my father issues, and all my medical stuff, I couldn't do a lot of physical activity things as much as my father thought I could, but I loved swimming. Swimming to me was very much one of the very physical and emotional health support I had growing up. I loved swimming. My father was a triathlon, but swimming guy. He was very much a swimmer, health-based swimmer, racing swimmer, one of those guys. Well, I wasn't due to, being sick a lot. So 35 times each year, every school year, I looked at that and was like, I'm not doing swimming for school. No. But I loved swimming. Swimming to me was like my base of coping, my way of swimming with asthma, having asthma. Asthma was a very huge thing to me in my life and my medical health and my safety net. So swimming and bowling became my top one priority of getting physical, emotional, and medical support of exercising each day. Well, now I go walk and run, but really, when it comes to socializing, swimming was one of the big things. It really helped me growing up as a child. So seeing the Talukans being medically challenged in a way, the breathing, they had the little oxygen masks, that sort of breathing, that represents people who have asthma. It really does if you think about it, because people like me who have respiratory issues and have medical issues have to sometimes have a mask or have an inhaler all the time. And those masks that the Talukans were wearing in the movie looked exactly like that, or felt like that each and every time we were outside, out with people. That's what the Talukans to me represented, not just Mexican or Latino or Latina culture. It represented people who had medical issues and what people who have oxygen and respiratory issues and medical health feel like and act like. That's why this being Team Talukan or Team Namor was very important to me and very empowering to me. It helped me cope with a lot of my medical issues, swimming mostly, and so did going out. I really loved going swimming, going out for walks, all that stuff. Swimming and bowling. Bowling was awesome to me. Talking to people, saying hi, being on teams. It was awesome. That's why being Team Namor was a very passionate and emotional support for me, especially even though if Letitia Wright did get vaccinated, I still would have been Team Namor. But I did want to honor Chadwick Boseman, and I think being Team Namor, to me, felt a lot more empowering and emotional support considering Letitia Wright chose not to get vaccinated, and I am struggling with mental illness and mental health from the COVID pandemic still. I'm scared being around some of the people that are not choosing to get vaccinated. Well, and I'm living with someone who has not been vaccinated. And it is very scary to me because I had COVID before and it was really bad. I don't want to get it again. And we might be set back again due to Trump. And I'll do that in another video. So thank you. This is your Core Dreamers signing off.